CEO of the Enterprise Group of Jackson. In February, he retires. He's joining us now, Tim Rogers. Hi, Tim.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good. 10
Merry
years?
Christmas.
You
Actually,
sure
it'll be 12 next summer.
I was going to say, you sure it wasn't 25?
Yeah. Some days it seems longer, some days it seems shorter.
It's interesting. I was, preparing to have you on, and I was thinking just about all the economic changes and curveballs over that period of time. It was good, it was bad, it was great, it was weird.
Yeah, some days were scary even. I think, when I look back over the last 10 or 11 years, I think I'm particularly proud of the way the staff has adapted to all those things. Did a lot of catching and throwing quickly, especially during the COVID years. I think I looked the other day, it was about $3 million worth of grants that people in the community entrusted us with to help small business. And we had never done that before, and we had to do it in a very quick fashion. I think we've joked before about Debbie Kelly and I meeting in the Polly's parking lot to write checks because, nobody knew what COVID was and we weren't allowed in the building. And, you think about those kind of things and think, we were pretty good on our feet, but a lot of changes. You guys know, you just look at the community, it's changed a lot. And I think we are always been good at the blocking and tackling of economic development, but having the foundation helped us do some other things in the community too, like the Anchor actually started inside the Enterprise Group at our foundation. The Lean Rocket Lab actually started inside the Enterprise Group, the foundation. Manufacturing Day started there. Funding for a lot of the first robotics at middle school started there. So those are all things I look back on, and you don't really think about them. They come, they go, and then until you stop and take stock and go, "Oh, we did some kind of cool things."
Right.
So. And really, when you live here, you don't really appreciate all the things that are happening because you don't have the perspective of being away or stepping back.
Right.
And I hear from people who have been away, they come back and they can't believe.
Yeah, how different it is. I was telling my wife, I was thinking the other day about my first trip here and meeting at what is now Veritas, and Captain Jackson was walking down the street. I was like, where am I going? But downtown certainly has changed a lot since that point in time.
Yeah, you look at, I think one of the most recent accomplishments, the expansion of the technology park. That was a lot of pieces that had to go in really concert with.
A 6-year process, actually, going through files and getting stuff ready for the new person. I came across our book that we did for the community tour was 2017, when we first took a bunch of community leaders on a bus and went and looked for sites, and now 6 years later, all that's left to do is put up the stoplights at Airport Road and at the industrial park, but everything else is done. So we just have a few more payments to make or get from the EPA or EDA, and we should be good to go.
Economic development is not something that happens overnight. There's a lot of red tape, there's a lot of paperwork, there's a lot of signatures. I've gotten to see some behind the scenes on some of your projects, and just can't believe how much work really goes in to getting to, say, the Jackson Technology Park or another investment. It is a lot of work trying to get the best possible funding. And it's just amazing what you guys really did.
And for us, we talk all the time at staff meetings about we have a lot of responsibility but no authority, but we have accountability. So it's not like we get to make a decision and then we tell other people what to do. It's kind of like other people make a decision, we have to help them implement that. I know Alex is working right now on how could we expand the industrial park where Mackey is, because a lot of community leaders we don't want to get stuck in the position where we don't have any available land. And knowing that it's taken 6 years, 7 years to do that, you have to start again now already to look at what are the options for the future. So I'm pretty proud of that. I think we've positioned the community well for the future, and I think I'll be leaving the place in good hands.
The governor is concerned that people aren't coming to Michigan.
It's a huge issue.
I think, where we live, we've got the best geography, best climate, best, cost of living, the recreation, and, it's just, we're in a perfect spot.
What happened 2 years ago? Traverse City was the #1 you know.
Yeah.
It's amazing how quickly things can change, right?
Well, and how many things impact that.
Right.
I mean, you could be the best place to locate in the world, but if you don't have a house to put employees in, right? And that's one of our challenges is we don't have a growing housing stock. Except for Grass Lake, the rest of the community really doesn't have new housing, new build, especially at entry-level positions. I know there's people in the community working on that, but again, that's not a tomorrow problem. It is if you're looking for a house, but to solve it, it's a 5-6 year problem, and you have to have people working towards that. So the challenge we always have is balancing what we have to get done today with how do you try to plan for what you need 7 years from now.
So what are you going to do in retirement?
Well, I have a 4-year-old grandson that loves to follow me around, so I guess my wife would ask that same question, and it's like the one answer she would say is, "Don't hang around the house. You're gonna have to find something to do." So I spent a lot of time out in the shop, but I really haven't figured that out yet. We're not leaving the community, so I'm sure I'll get anxious and bored, or I'll have to find something to do.
You'll come out of retirement, is that what you're saying?
I might go to work at Ace Hardware. Who
There
knows,
you go. Yeah, there you go.
I love fix-it projects, and as long as they let me work, 2 hours a day on the days that I want to work.
Exactly. Yeah, you want to work Friday from noon to 2, get your discount on your stuff, and leave.
You're a good example of what Jackson has become as far as an attractive home. You've lived in a lot of other places. You've ended up here through your job, and this is where you want to stay.
Yeah, and actually, 2 of my 3 sons live here too. Yeah. So we've tried to help the population growth of the county.
Yeah, well, we appreciate all that you guys at the Enterprise Group, because it is a great team that you've had working with you, and all that you've done. Thanks for coming in today.
Sure, thank you. Appreciate it.
He's not going anywhere. He's got a couple more months at the EG. President and CEO, Tim Rogers. More of the Morning Show after this.